In this video, we are going to talk about a very important and also very sensitive topic. That's the topic about our childhood traumas. And it's very important to be clear about those issues in our lives, because that's the first step to change that or to improve our lives. First of all, how to find out whether you're affected by your childhood traumas. The first question is, are there repeating patterns in your life? For example, are you constantly unsatisfied with your relationships? Do you struggle with loneliness or lack of confidence or challenges in your social realization? Do you suffer from depression or anger? Normally, people tend to move between two conditions. One of the states is more about loneliness and depression, basically when we are down. And the other polarity is anger and anxiety and feeling worried. And very often we can move between those conditions from one to the other. So the first question is, do you have some of those repeating patterns or conditions in your life? The second thing that we need to talk about, what are actually the childhood traumas? The childhood traumas are some kind of events happening when we have been really young or when we are not mature enough. And the main thing is that very often children accept those events as a threat for their life, for their security. Even events which are not physically dangerous for the child may feel like a threat for his or her life. And the child doesn't have experience. The child doesn't know that, well, this will pass and, well, that this is not so terrible. Very often children accept minor challenges as something bigger, something which can turn into a traumatic injury. Of course, there are other cases when there really has been something challenging, like emotional, physical abuse. Of course, these are the clear cases when, even adults realize that the child has been traumatized. But the truth is that there are many other cases when the adults or parents or teachers don't realize actually that the child has been traumatized. And again, the reason is because of how children interpret the situations. Even situations which are not actually affecting them or don't include their behavior are still interpreted as something which is triggered by the child. For example, the parents have a very difficult relationship, they're constantly arguing or they get divorced. Even if the child is not affected from, bad behavior or some kind of abuse, very often this child may feel like, well, he is responsible or that he hasn't been good enough, and basically there is a very strong sense of guilt. So one of the main questions is how we can affect those conditions. Of course, the first thing is to realize, are we affected by some kind of traumatic events? And remember, very often the answer is not logical. For example, somebody has tried to help you as a child, and you might have interpreted that also as something bad. Very often this may happen with children who have suffered from some kind of diseases. For example, surgeries in childhood can also bring this feeling for some kind of threat, for some kind of aggression towards the child, because that's basically a physical interaction, or there are knives, there are hospitals. And even if that's for the good, even if that's the main idea is to help the child, actually how the child accepts that, especially unconsciously, is that there is a threat for his life, that people are trying to hurt him. That's very important. And I know it sounds not logical, but that's how the immature psychological subconscious mind actually accepts things. And here are also some of the questions that we need to be answered. Questions which can show you whether there are some kind of those repeating patterns, and do you need to dig deeper in your childhood memories. So let me give you some examples. The first example is, are you constantly attracted to people who are unavailable? People who are not ready to commit, or people who are in another relationship, or people who are just rejecting you. If that's true, one of the main reasons might be because in your childhood you have been rejected, or maybe you think that you don't deserve to be loved. Or also it could be that love is painful and having a relationship actually can be dangerous. Another question that you need to answer, do you feel like even your closest people don't pay enough attention? That they are neglecting you, that they are not interested in you, that you want to have more attention, that you don't feel worth it if you don't get this attention from other people, or approval, of course. Again, the answer can be in your childhood experiences. The next question is, do you feel like if people really knew you, they are not going to like you? Do you think that you have to pretend to be something else, to be something better, or maybe that you have to smile constantly, or that maybe you have to do favors for other people constantly in order for them to like you? Do you feel that the real you, the true you, the you that has your deepest essence, your core nature is not worth it to be liked by others? Also very painful. Also very often we don't want to admit that. Even with ourselves, it's really painful to say that, but that's where we need to begin from. The next question is, do you feel like you have to neglect your needs? That other people's needs are more important, that you have to make sacrifices in order to receive attention or to feel like you deserve to be loved? Again, this is the scenario when we become victims, or we want to sacrifice something, or we need to save someone else. These are all connected roles, and they're again related to our childhood traumas or events or injuries. And the next question is, do you constantly feel like something bad is going to happen? Even if there is nothing wrong in your life or nothing, stressful, you still, feel like, well, in any case, something bad can happen with your health. These are the people who are suffering from, anxiety about their physical condition, or that maybe you will lose something, money, your career, your relationship. If you're constantly expecting that, again, it shows that deep inside of you, you don't believe that you deserve your life to be happy. And that's why you think that any minute you can lose it. As you can guess, most of the answers lay in our childhood memories and experiences. And the next question is that, do you feel like if you don't get recognition for your success, for your achievements, it's not worth it? Or that even when you get those things, you feel approved, or you see like other people really appreciate your success, even in those cases you are unhappy, you are not satisfied, and you feel like there has to be something more, that even then it's not enough, that you are not enough. If you think about those questions, you may realize some really important things, and they can be quite painful. And my advice in this case is, first of all, to be open-minded to see the truth, to be ready to dig deeper in yourself, in your mind, in your past. And also to give yourself some time. Don't rush things too much. Very often when we realize some kind of problem, we want to escape from that immediately. We want to change it immediately. We want to heal ourselves immediately. Usually it's not working this way. We need to accept that, to let it be part of ourselves, even if it's not something positive, even when we are not proud with that. We have to see it as part of ourselves. And after that, after we process that, it could be a memory. Sometimes, as we said, it could be something logical, something which really shows that you have been traumatized, you have been abused, or it may not be logical. Maybe someone has neglected you in your childhood, which was not meant to hurt you, and it has still impacted your beliefs, your way of thinking. Both of the cases are equally important. And don't think that, if you have been supported when you have been a child, you are not allowed to have problems. As we said, very often things are illogical. So give yourself this time to process the events, and of course, after that comes the healing process. So in the next video, we are going to talk about the types or the most common types of childhood traumas. And then we are going to have another video which will give you some concrete techniques with how you can handle with those traumatic events or experiences or injuries. Also, if you would like to get a free 15-minute coaching session with me, you're welcome to book it from the link below this video. Or also, if you want to work in a coaching program with me to heal some of those injuries, or to work on your beliefs, or change your life, or improve your condition, you can do that as well from the link below. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. You can share in the comments maybe not personal things, or somebody may feel like sharing personal stuff can be helpful as well. But anyway, I would be happy to hear your thoughts about this topic. And do you really think that your childhood experiences and memories are affecting you today? Thank you very much for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video.